The search for the running mate for all parties is ongoing as INEC has given them 1 week to bring their vice or else risk invalidation of their aspiration. And also democracy will be 23 years come Sunday. Good morning. It is from the Dailies on Echo Television Africa, and I am Sarah Elisha, and I have with me Owolabi Tosin.
Morning, Sarah.
Morning, Tosin. How are you doing?
Good.
Yes, we have quite interesting stories that are trending on our Nigerian newspapers. And remember, we're live on Facebook and also on YouTube, so you can drop your comment and we'll do well to read them. And at 9:30, we'll open our phone lines where you can call us and let us know what your views are and your contributions concerning stories that are trending. And I'll take the first paper, which is the Vanguard newspaper. The first story, which is on 2023 nomination without running mate invalid, INEC won political parties, with detail on page 8. Nigeria bleeding, soaked in blood. This is coming from the Catholic bishops. Bandit killed 32, abduct 80 in Kaduna and Katsina. Port decongestion, Apapa port still overloaded. The big story, VP slot options hurdles as Tinubu meet APC governors, the National Working Committee, Lalon Dogara, SGF for possible consideration. We are together, we will deliver you as President Adamu assures. And Muslim ticket no-go area, this is coming for Baba Chair Lawan. Detail of that can be seen on page 10. And the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, has paid a surprise visit to the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo at his Abuja residence on Thursday night. A source in the presidency said Tinubu had earlier visited the president at his residence in the presidential villa and afterward decided to make a surprise call on Osinbajo alongside the Lagos State Governor Sanwo-Olu. According to the source, Osinbajo was in a meeting with Senator Gabaru Gaya, the former defense minister, retired Major General Dan Ali, and other associates. Other stories still on the Vanguard. Democracy Day, the federal government declares Monday public holiday. Detail can be found on page 36. VP Amici congratulates Tinubu as in Bola Tinubu visit Osinbajo, with detail on page 10. Other stories, crisis looms as Atiku intensify consultation on running mate, releases economic agenda, vows to break the government monopoly, with detail on page 7. Still on 2023, 16 parties produce presidential candidates. ASWAP responsible for Owo Church attack. This is coming from the federal government. There's only one Labour Party in Nigeria. This is coming from the Nigerian Labour Congress. And on 2023, Group to Osinbajo, you won. And this is a way of congratulating him and making him know that he still belongs to them. And you can read more of that on page 35. And we can see a picture story here. From the left, we have the All Progressive Congress, APC, the National Vice Chairman. The Southwest, Isaac, and we have the National Chairman, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, the party presidential candidate, Bola Tinubu, the National Secretary, Senator Ayula Omisore, and other members of the APC National Working Committee when they visited Tinubu yesterday in Abuja. And that is all from the Vanguard newspaper.
On the Nation paper, Ekiti 2022 APC Grand Rallies for Tuesday. Buhari, Tinubu expected, and this is in preparation for the Ekiti governorship polls, which we'll be expecting this year. Federal government links our church attack to ISWAP and manhunt for assailants. The federal government has revealed identities of the terrorist group behind the attack on St. Francis Catholic Church in Owo, Ondo State. The Minister of Interior, Rauf Arebeshola, on Thursday linked fighters of the Islamic State of West African Province, ISWAP, to the attack which took place on Sunday. Arebeshola revealed this while addressing State House correspondents after a meeting of the National Security Council presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari. According to the former governor of Osun State, the federal government has located the terrorist responsible for the killing of worshippers in Owo. Arebeshola, who addressed the newsmen alongside the Inspector General of Police, Alkali Baba Usman, directed security agencies to go after the perpetrators of the attack and bring them to book. And we know that hands are still on decks concerning the killers of the worshippers in St. Francis Catholic Church in Owo. And we're seeing efforts being put together by the Minister of Interior and even President and Chief Security on how they can bring about these perpetrators. We just hope that something will be done concerning this, because when the traditional ruler in Owo was interviewed concerning this killing, he said they have security agencies in Owo, but the security agencies don't have the needed they don't have the needed equipment to even fight insecurity. I say, what is a security agent without the instrument, without the tools to fight insurgency? We know the policemen are supposed to move around with their guns, but they don't have gun. How do you expect them to fight when these people come prepared to attack? So our security agencies need the necessary tools they need to fight. If you are deploying a security officer to any place in this country, he should go with the necessary equipment and things that he will need to use to fight. Because when you look at pictures, you see videos of this insurgent group, they don't come empty-handed. They have the mechanized and sophisticated tools they use to fight people, to kill people. So our security agencies should not go empty-handed. And we can see efforts being put together on how to have more tools and equipment for our security officials. And we just hope that it will not be like where we had cases of guns missing in our armory. If our armory is equipped and is equipped with more guns and given to the security agencies, there should be a way where this can be detailed. There can be details on, okay, I'm giving you a gun, then they'll give details of the gun given to a particular soldier. Each soldier should have details and be accountable for whichever ammunition that is given to he or she to fight insecurity. So I will not have issues where our guns or our ammunitions will get missing on the ground of corruption. So something needs to be done on how we can track these killers in the church service, and hands are being put together by the governor and even the governor of the state and even ministers and presidents. And we just hope that they will not keep relent until we fish out the perpetrators of this evil act. 83-year-old joined race for Alafin's throne. 140 suspected Yahoo boys arrested in 2 Lagos hotels. Details can be found in page 29. June 13 is Democracy Day holiday, and we know the Minister of Interior Rauf Arebeshola congratulated Nigerians on the 2022 Democracy Day celebration, and he declared Monday 13th June as public holiday. The big story: Buhari rallies governors for Tinubu ahead of 2023 election. Primary most competitive, says president in letter to candidates. Bagudu, Abdulrazak, Ganduje, Masari, others visit Jagaban. Shibanjo, Ayade, Amici, Umahi pledged support. And Friday deadline for parties to submit candidate list. INEC have given a deadline of 17th June 2022 to submit the list of the presidential candidates, the vice president, senatorial and House of Reps candidates for the 16 parties we have. So it is another form of awareness for Nigerians to know that it's not just 2 parties we have in our nation, we have 16 parties. So we should shine our eyes in voting in the right government. And INEC have given deadline, which is 17th of June, to submit the candidates for all the 16 parties. If not, it will be seen like it will be invalid. So you see, they are intensifying more effort and putting hands together to submit the list, and we can see where presidential aspirants are rallying round to look out for who will support, who will serve as vice for the positions that they are aspiring for. Downside of the Nation newspaper, Ladoja to be installed Otun Olubadan today. Makinde is Ekiti PDP campaign chief. Details can be found on page 7, and that's all on the Nation newspaper.
Let's take a look at the leadership for Friday. Southern Middle Belt leaders laud President Muhammadu Buhari Asiwaju over the APC convention. Mustafa Kawuju, Dentala Sawuru emerged presidential candidates, and this is really congratulations to them. Other stories: search for the running mate. APC target the North Block vote. PDP rolls out the Southwest. We detailed on page 4. The writer following that story, Wiki still on the cards for Atiku. Adamu moves to men. Fences leads the National Working Committee on visit to Tinubu. INEC gives the party June 17 deadline to submit candidates' name. And we have the U.S. expresses concern as federal government names ISWAP in the Obu church attack. And Democracy Day, federal government declares Monday holiday, says Abiola were honored. Campaigns avoid fault lines. Jonathan tells Atiku, Tinubu, Obi, and Kwankwaso. We detailed on page 6. And Kaduna confirmed 32 dead in Gajuru raid. Debunk reports of Ari attack by terrorists with detail on page 11. We also have a picture story here, a cross-section of the service chief during the National Security Council meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari at the presidential villa in Abuja yesterday. And I'm happy that meetings like this are going on because we have the issue of deaths in Kaduna, Katsina, and also with the church attack still. So I think not just about the meeting. We are happy that they're always having meetings, but we are looking forward to where this meeting will produce results at the end of the day, because I believe this is what Nigerians are looking forward to see, that all these aspirants that are coming up very soon, the campaigns will be starting. So we need to keep our fingers crossed to see what is the agenda that they have for Nigerians in mind, because they need to go across. We are going through inflation presently, insecurity is another issue we are having, food crisis here and there. So I think these are the things Nigeria should be looking forward to hear from all the aspirants that will be coming out, because we'll be hearing campaign speeches left, right, and center of different forms. So I believe Nigerians know what they want at this point in time. So even as much as the president is having meetings with the service chiefs and every other person, we are also looking forward to seeing what all these aspirants are becoming, or what would they be telling us. And as we can see, they are still going canvassing for who their running mates will be. But I think this is where we see, because in one of the papers we read, we saw that Muslim ticket is a no-go, neither is a Christian ticket a no-go. And already the two main parties that we're having presently, which is the Tinubu and the Atiku, these are both Muslim candidates. So we're looking forward to see who their vice will be. But we are hoping that as much as they are canvassing for who their running mates will be, they should also have it that presently in the nation, we are going through a very sensitive period in time. So where we see a Muslim carrying a Muslim as his running mate is a no-go whatsoever, because this can trigger issues, more insecurity in the nation. So we'll keep our fingers crossed and see what will be it, because they have just 1 week from today to next week Friday to produce whoever their running mates will be. So we'll just look forward and see what the end will look like. And that's all on the leadership newspaper.
On Oshun Defender. On Osun Defender, we have on the front page comments after the primaries reconciling the factions. And Arebeshola stated that on behalf of my family and associates, I heartily congratulate you on this deserved victory. IGP queries Osun CP over killing of 28-year-old Abiola. On our massacre, Yoruba land can't be overrun, says Oni. And details can be found in page 6. Public school.
32 people killed in the fresh Kaduna attack, resident and many houses destroyed. Tinubu unveils the 2023 agenda to decentralize police, create jobs, ensure 12% GDP growth. We'll keep our fingers crossed to see how you will be able to fulfill all that. Still on 2023 presidency, Ramalan congratulates Tinubu, urges him to resolve the APC internal issues, unite all members. The former chairman of the All Progressive Congress caucus in Kaduna State, Alhaji Ahmed Tijani, has urged Jagaban Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to leverage on his emergence as the presidential candidate for the All Progressive Congress APC in the 2023 general election in order to resolve all the internal issues and disagreements emanate from the party in the state chapters. Federal government points to ISWAP in Owo terror attack. Still on 2023, Tinubu, Atiku and others have 1 week to pick their running mate or risk invalidation. This is coming from the INEC. And on APC presidential primary, the Southern Middle Belt leaders, Lon Buhari, congratulates Tinubu. Still on 2023, Atiku releases private sector lead economic agenda. And that's all on the Voice of Liberty.
On Nigerian News Direct, EFCC arrests 47 suspected Yahoo boys in Owerri. Oyetola inaugurates cultural tourism clubs in secondary school. OPEC daily basket price closes at $121.54 per barrel. And on 2023 presidential election, Atiku Tinubu unveil 4-year economic agenda for Nigeria, as experts expressed mixed reaction on roadmap to economic resuscitation. Nigerians' debt to GDP ratio rises to 23.3%, and IBME felicitate Bola Tinubu, saying you are an exemplary leader. Back page of the Nigerian News Direct, you can see the Femi additional column, and that's all on the Nigerian News Direct.
Thank you, and let's take a look at the Daily Sun. Masop vows to punish politicians against Igbo interests. Detail on page 27 of the Daily Sun newspaper. Nigerian used to Zibanjo, you won. And the big story here, tension in APC and PDP over Tinubu and Atiku's running mate. Khan won against Muslim ticket in the ruling parties, threatening legal option. Party zeroes in on Lalong boss Mustafa Dogara. Opposition party in dilemma whether to pick from the southeast or the south-south. June 17 deadline for submission of presidential senatorial reps. Candidate name stand, INEC insists. And the APC presidential candidate unfolds agenda. Pledges to decentralize police, create jobs, ensure 12% GDP growth, allocate 25% to education, and end the ASU strike. Well, I hope we are not looking forward to waiting until then to end the ASU strike, but the strike should end right now, because if there were monies that were flying left, right, and center during the campaign, during the primaries, then I believe that we have money somewhere to give ASU. Let's school be on section before the campaigns will start running left, because this is what will make Nigerians know that truly you're serious when you say you want to end ASU strike, if you say you want to increase our GDP, then it's not just about your words, but we need you to back up your words with your action. And this goes to all the presidential candidates that actually came out during the winners during their presidential primaries. Other stories still on Daily Sun. Nigeria no longer safe to live in, says the Catholic bishop. Claims country soak in blood. And we have 4 feared dead in Ondo robbery with detail on page 5. ASWA behind Ondo church attack. This is coming from the federal government. Says 10,000 policemen to be added to the security architecture. And just like you said, Tosi, it's not about adding them, but to equip them with all they need, the ammunition they need to be able to fight all this. Because of what use would they be if they do not have what they need to fight this ASWAP or whoever the unknown gunmen are? Because if you should check, they came with very sophisticated equipment. And so if we need to really match up to this ASWAP, then we need to also be fully equipped, and not just equipped partially, but to have all that is needed to be able to fight them, so that we will know that truly the federal government are ready to fight insecurity. Because if we do not take the right step, then we are actually going to doom. So I just hope we'll look into that. And the last story, NLC denounces frictional Labour Party, says only one Labour Party in Nigeria, with detail on page 27. We have a picture story here. You can do well to get the Daily Sun newspaper and read any of the stories that's of interest to you.
On News Telegraph, Nigerian telecom sector attract $582.29 million FDIs in 2 years. Shipping lines corner clearing jobs at nation's port. And Owansoye ICPC to profile politically exposed persons, money laundering suspects. Asaba Airport gets ILS, AGLS targets international flights as APC Omo Agege in doom ambition. This is coming from Okowa. A shelved ambition supported Tinubu for national unity. This is coming from Fayemi as Southwest APC commend Northern governors' gestures. Labour Party presidential ticket is in one for withdraws for OB. And the story, we have the Nigerian Labour Congress on Thursday stated that the Labour Party faction of a former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, is the only recognized faction. This is coming after a faction of the party declared the former chairman of the party in Anambra State, Jude Ezinwanfo, as the winner of the presidential primary organized on Wednesday. Ezinwanfo, however, on Thursday announced his withdrawal from the 2023 presidential race. According to Ezinwanfo, his decision to withdraw from the race is based on personal reasons. The national president of the Labour Congress, Ayuba Waba, while reacting to the emergence of Ezinwanfo as a factional presidential candidate, said his faction is not recognized. Waba further stated that the Labour Congress and TUC recognized the leadership of the Labour Party led by Barrister Julius Abure, and I will say whatever the issue is within the factions in the Labour Party, it should be resolved before we have the final date for submission to INEC. But INEC is saying that the only person they recognize for the Labour Party that's a presidential aspirant is Peter Obi. But whatever differences they are having as a party, I just hope that it will be resolved. They should resolve it, because we should not have you coming out for vying for a political position and you are having division inside your coffers. Then how can you say you want to take care of a nation if amongst yourself, even amongst your party, you are not united? This goes to all parties that are even having divisions among themselves. They should try to clear whatever division they're having before they can present themselves to the public at large, because people need to believe in you and see that yes, even back at home you are doing things well before they can hand over a whole nation to you to preside over and even to take over. So we just hope that this division amongst this party will be resolved amongst themselves. And still on the New Telegraph, the big story says running mates, APC eyes not block votes, tips Northeast governors for Tinubu. While PDP is saying Wike still on the card as Atiku rules out Southwest. Southeast voting pattern may affect choice, and we have preferred Southeast presidential candidate for fairness and equity. This is from SMBLF. On 2023, Lagos Southeast traders declare Operation Show PVC before opening shop. We expect 27,000 nominations from parties. This is coming from INEC. Still on 2023, Kachuku Adebayo are ADC SDP presidential candidate. Federal government releases program for Buhari Last Democracy Day celebration. Still, federal government traces our massacre to ISWAP, others probe of blasphemy killings. The rider says as United States frets over attack in Nigeria. KDSG, how terrorists killed 32, destroyed houses, churches in southern Kaduna, says NAF helicopter only engaged bandits. OPC urges Southwest governors to convene emergency security meeting. And study links drinking too much milk to prostrate cancer risks. A picture story, we can see the former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan and also the road safety corps, the leaders in the road safety corps when he went to get his driver's license renewed at the FRSC headquarters in Abuja, and that's all on the New Telegraph paper.
And on Nigerian Tribune, ASWA behind Owo Church massacre. This is coming from the federal government with the rider Afenifere visit Owo, comments Akeredolu on Amoteku. No going back on anti-open grazing law. This is still coming from the governor Akeredolu. We are vindicated by the federal government confession. This is coming from Alana Omo-Odo. And then it's time for Nigerians to move around with arms. This is coming from Ohanize. Detail of that can be found on page 8. Other stories here: Kaduna government confirmed killing of the 32 villagers. Denies reports terrorists flying helicopter. And other stories here: 12,000 hectares of land for aviation state. Sarika gets certificate of occupancy. And INEC solicit NNA support to aircraft electoral materials personnel, with detail on page 28. And the National Labour Congress strike, court declares Kaduna Commission of Inquiry unconstitutional. Angry youths in Lagos burn over 20 motorcycles over pedestrian deaths. And on 2022 Hajj, first batch of Maiduguri pilgrims leave for Saudi Arabia, with detail on page 28. And Tinubu APC Northern Governors meet. VP slot tops discussion. 8 names taunted as possible running mates. Our candidate, our project. This is coming from Adomo. His campaign must be inclusive. This is coming from Indume. Jonathan Amechi Lanoya Kasa congratulating, with detail on page 4 and 5. And we have bandit kidnap 80 villagers in Katsina. Details still on page 26. We also have a picture story here, so you can do well to get the Nigerian Tribune and read any of the stories that's of interest to you.
On the Guardian newspaper, your ambition not worth life of any Nigerians. Jonathan remind Tinubu and Atiku and others. Ohaneze Ndibo faction differs over APC presidential flag bearer. And police deny hoodlums attack on Hausa community in Ondo. Dollar rain, which is making the rounds on the Guardian newspaper. Politicians crowd out private businesses from FX market. Party primaries set new exchange rate ceiling. BDC operators run out of supply as politicians warehouse dollar. Fear of higher political risk spread across marketers, and CBN rigidity stalling capital inflow, says Yusuf. Nigeria's basketball on the brink, and this is a big story on page 4 and 5 of the Guardian newspaper. The last story says ISWAP behind our church attack, says federal government. That's all on the Guardian newspaper.
Thank you so much, Tosin. Before we go further to other papers, we'd like to take a time out now where we can open the phone lines for our callers, and you can call us, let us know what your feels are concerning any of the story that is of interest to you. And also, you can drop your comment on our Facebook and YouTube pages, and we'll do well to read it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back. It's still the Dailies on Echo Television Africa, and I'm Sela Elisha, and Wulabi Tosin has been doing this alongside. Our phone lines are open, so please do well to call us and let us know what your feels are, your contribution, your views concerning any of the story that is of interest to you. And you can also drop your comment on our Facebook page and also YouTube, and we'll do well to read them. Let's move on down to the Punch newspaper. Nigerians beat CBN restriction, trade 78 billion naira Bitcoin in 3 months. In detail of that can be found on page 21. Our massacre, expert tackle federal government over insecurity, government blames ISWAP. Traders short Lagos market, youth storm TBS for voters registration. And NPC makes 1.7 trillion naira from crook sale in 12 months. Other stories still on the Punch. Nigeria import 41 billion naira salt despite the huge local deposits. Federal government spending on trade money, others hit 36.3 billion naira, with detail on page 21. Okay, hello, we have a caller.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you. Please go on with your comments.
Yes, I want to appreciate the two of you, Sele and my other sister. I admit for my size Southern Kaduna. I've been killing hundreds. We don't know how to do it. Killing here and there. Land. People have been like animals. The people in the government have been killed like animals. What is our problem with this? Is that our saying that cause the downfall of the country? What is the problem? We cry by the dead. Look at how people are being buried as if they are not human beings. So aside that, I want to say congratulations to Atiku for picking the teacher of people. I pray that you pick the men from the south east, that will enable the youth movement, because I want to see that the place of unity coming to take over Nigeria. Because I think that is going to because I could not but appreciate what it has to do, because it's the strength to see our mind.
Thank you, Shamal, for that contribution. It's really a sad one with what is happening in Southern Kaduna, not just in Kaduna, but other part. And just like you said, we are not animals, but we're trusting and we're hoping that the government will up its game and actually look into the issue of insecurity and tackle it as soon as possible. Other stories still on the Punch, which is a big story. Atiku's running mate, PDP rises panel as Wike Okowa lobby for the VP slot with the rider Atiku meet ex-governors, National Working Committee, Board of Members intensify search for the Vice President. Summit presidential government seat candidate names running mate INEC tells the party. The picture story here, Tinubu pays a surprise visit to Zibanjo. Buhari, who is the APC presidential candidate. And okay. Hello, Jacob from Nasra. Good morning. Please go with your comments. Okay, Jacob, if you can hear us, please do well to call us back. We'd love to hear what your views are concerning any of the stories. Other stories still on the Punch. 97 local government records suspected Lassa fever cases, casualties rise. This is really a sad one, and we've been talking about this here, toasting the fact that we need to see more measures to be, placed by the ministry and also individuals, and making sure we keep our food very safe, wash whatever we eat, and make sure that we don't fall victims to that. And even more need to be done to all the medical personnel. Okay, sorry. Jacob is back. Good morning, Jacob.
Good morning, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Please go with your comments.
Hello? Hello, how are you?
Fine, we can hear you. Please go on.
How are you? I don't know. The vice president that is supposed to choose the best candidate. What should they lobby for vice president? Anybody lobbying for vice president, that person is not ready to work for Nigeria. Let them wait so that Nigeria will choose the best candidate for them, not for them to lobby. Why are you lobbying for?
Okay, I think Jacob is off because I can hear you. But just like you said, the lobbying, whatever it is, we just keep our fingers crossed. Just like we said, can't have kick against Muslim, Christian, because we are mixed in this country. And so I believe that the presidential aspirant and also together the whole parties will put their heads together and choose the right person that have the interest and can also back the presidential aspirant in what the race that they are, getting into. And other stories, cultists kill Lagos trader in sister's presence, family slams the police. And Lagos mob burn 30 Okada beat motorcyclists for killing pedestrian. And months after Punch investigation, court slam Nigerian army 200 million naira damages for killing Imo businessman, with detail on page 30. And that's all on the Punch newspaper.
On the blueprint, we have a massacre likely carried out by ISWAP. This is coming from the federal government as they express concern over blasphemy killings. Kaduna confirms 32 killed by terrorists, deny use of helicopter. As INEC sets June 12 deadline on running mates and National Assembly, APC Northern governors meet Tinubu, mall Muslim ticket. PDP weighs Wike, Okowa, Udom as options, and Tinubu is saying, I will build on Buhari's legacies. Adamu visits Tinubu, assures of support, and Nawaj makes case of female VP deputy governors. APC primary regardless of outcome, you're a winner, youth group tells Oshibanjo as vice president congratulates Tinubu on presidential ticket. On 2022 Hajj, first batch of 546 pilgrims airlifted from Borno. Longest serving Zamfara monarch Ahmed Umar dies at 93. On Democracy Day, federal government declares Monday, June 13th as public holiday. And banks SEC disagrees on legality of cryptocurrency transaction.
Okay, sorry, Tos, we have a caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, please go on with your contribution, sir.
So how are you doing?
We're fine.
My contribution is really, I think Nigerians are tired of being ruled by the father, old men. Nigerians should wake up and let's vote for a young generational leader who is vibrant, who is strong enough to take us to the real promised land. We need a youth. Somebody who is not old. We are tired of these old men. So they come out to rule us. They are tired of it. Nigerians will wake up so that we will have a vibrant leader who is awake, who is alive, not the one that will be going to medical checkup every month. So that is my contribution. And we should also back it in prayer. Nigerians should back it up in prayer. We need a young ruler, who knows what the people need, who can wake up at any time to answer the call of the Nigerians. Thank you and God bless you. I appreciate your work. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir, for that contribution.
On Blueprint newspaper, Nigerians' debt to GDP ratio up 23.3%, rises to 41.6 trillion naira in first quarter 2022. AFCC arrests 140 suspected internet fraudster in Ikorodu. And from World Bank, Rwanda to outgrow Nigeria, South Africa, others in 2022. That's all on the Blueprint newspaper.
Okay, Shamal from Kaduna, good morning. Please go on with your comments.
Yes, my sister, I'm sorry, I'm calling back.
It's okay.
The Tinubu state want to build on the legacy of Buhari. Is it a legacy of growth and overstatement? Is it a legacy of corruption that is hacking the country? Is it the legacy of people being killed in their poor blood? Is it the legacy of corruption, killing here and there in the country? That people cannot be in university? I don't expect our aged people to be talking the way they are talking. This country has been cheated since 2016. Nothing to arrive from about. And it's dragging that it's going to be on legacy. Because we have a country from at least from medical schools, spending our money in social business and coming to legacy. So good morning.
Thank you, Shamal, for that. Toast, is that all on Blueprint?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on now to Friday Aljazeera newspaper. The federal government blames ISWAP for Owo massacre, detailed on page 9 of the Friday Aljazeera newspaper. And submission of candidate again, INEC extend deadline to June 17 as article widen search for running mate. That's with Bola Tinubu too. Gold and other minerals generate 19.2 billion naira in the first quarter. Many feared dead over Adamawa Gombe communities clash. One dead property born as tanker rams into jute. Okay, hello, we have a caller from
I love
Ghana.
the station very well, and today is my first time to call.
Thank you so much.
I will try to congratulate you people over there, but unfortunately the thing is not connected. Number B. So I want to urge Nigerians, they should wake up. All those old leadership is not help Nigeria. Let them live for young men. All those old men, they have nothing to deliver to Nigeria. They have nothing to deliver. They are heartless men. Nigeria to speak for the young men that have a future. So, don't have Nigeria. Carry on. God bless you.
Thank you so much for that caller coming from Ghana. We believe Nigerians are listening and they will shine their eyes to do the right thing for whoever they choose to elect as their leader. Well, still on the Friday Aljazeera newspaper, we have on Democracy Day, we have lots to celebrate. This is coming from the Minister of Information, Laya Mohammed. And APC primary, why I scored 0 vote. This is coming from Bakari. And NMPC spent 970, take that, NMPC spent 947.51 billion naira on the PMS subsidy from January to April. And you can read more of that on page 24. Okay, Elizabeth from Makodi, please turn the volume of your TV set.
Hello?
We can hear you, Elizabeth. Go on, please.
Yes, my question is this, concerning this election. Why is it that they don't allow the youth to rule? It's those people that are almost close to their grave that they allow them to rule. as for me as a youth, I cannot use my PVC to vote for anybody. Because even if I vote, I don't see any difference. Thank you. And God.
Thank you so much. Tosin, is really a sad one when we have people thinking in that direction. Because, yes, I believe that we want someone who is vibrant. We want a youth. But just like you said, we don't have just two parties. We have over 16 parties that are registered and they have their presidential candidate. And I think that is where you can vote whoever you choose. We have people that are young in those various parties. But regardless of who rule, it's not about the age, but it's about the capacity, about the competence, about who the person is. It's not about the party, but the individual. What have he or she done thus far? And then what do you think that person can do presently? So I think we really need to debunk this idea. Okay, we have another caller from Lagos.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go on.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
We can hear you, please.
Please, okay. Hello? Okay, please. I want the youth to participate on this something. They should not allow these old men to take over this country. Please, let us come out en masse and vote. And God bless Nigeria.
Amen. God bless Nigeria. And I really love that comment. Youth should come out. Just like I said, it's not about the age of the president. We already have the candidates. They are out. But look at each of these candidates. Look at their portfolio. What have they done thus far? And what can they do presently? If you believe in a candidate, go out there, get your PVC. I like the way Lagos traders went about saying they're going to go about no PVC, no opening of shop. I think this is a move. And this is what I think every other sector should also look into, not just leaving it to the traders in Lagos market, but other sectors should also look into making sure that everybody acquire his PVC. Hello, good morning. We have a caller from Talaba.
Other sectors should also look into making sure that everybody acquire.
My name is John Obe from Taraba.
Okay, thank you, John. Please go on.
My comment is on the issue of this elderly people that only allow the youth to show their policy in the government. They are really against them. Most of us are here to mobilize ourselves. We're not going to vote for them because we have voted for them for so many years and don't change. They are cowards, they are leaders, so we are against them. They don't know God and they are heartless. So we are not in support of old men ruling us, destroying Nigeria, killing people here and there. They don't have conscience. They are not father enough to go to the nation. So we are discouraged and we are disappointed on them. That's our comment. Good morning.
Yeah, thank you, John. Please, all our callers, I think we should stop using the vocal language. No insult, no abuses. You're free to air your views, but we should be very, choosy of our words of what we say. But I feel the pain of John actually to say.
Yes, the challenge here is that Nigerians feel that Nigeria is ruled by only two parties, which is the PDP and APC. And we have other parties, we have other people. Although these parties, we see that the same people are being recycled. The same people who have ruled in time past are still the ones coming forth to show themselves to rule. And that's the issue we are having. We have other options. We have other people. What I would say is that...
Okay, we have another caller from Benin Republic. Good morning. Please go on with your comments.
Hello.
Hello, please go on.
Good morning, everybody together. What I want to say in my own opinion is that how you people how people are sure that all these people that are collecting their PVCs, if they collect their PVC vote, then their vote will count. You people see what is going on in Eagle Square the other day. Huh? How you people know that the PVC that their vote will be counted?
I hear that all the traders in Lagos, all of them say that there no PVC, no opening into the shop. If you bring your PVC and vote, how do you sure that your vote will be counted? Why all the vote in Nigeria is they have buy all of them with money? I can't say God bless Nigeria, but God bless the people that's in the field there. Because you people have the politicians have already spoiled Nigeria completely. God bless you people that is in the studio there. You people continue your good work, telling us the truth so that we will hear. But the politicians in Nigeria, they have already spoiled the whole politics in Nigeria. God will help you people. Continue doing your good work. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Tosa, I don't know if you'd like to react to
yes,
that.
I will, but I want to continue from where I stopped, which I'm talking about Nigerians weighing different options and even spreading their tentacles. We should not just sit down and just see if it's not APC, then PDP. We have other options. Look away other options. Look out for other people. It's not just about recycling the old people alone. We have young people that are coming out in other parties and giving out their manifestos on how they can take the nation along, carry the youths along in the growth of our nation. I'm talking about...
Hello, Gabriel from Kestina. I think this will be our last caller for today.
Oh, good morning.
Morning.
I want to appreciate the ongoing program. And I want to call on our leaders at the church level, at institutional level, to enlighten the youth to see the need to vote. No one should stay back home until they gain the enlightenment. And Esther contributed, she will not going to vote. That is not the solution. She needs an enlightenment. And also the other person calling from Benin Republic, whether our vote counts today or not, it will count tomorrow. Recall what Martin Luther said, that if we are going to win, in spite of all this, whether in tears and whatever, so time will come that our votes will count. So we don't know when the vote will be counted. So we should thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you very much. And I would like to talk about the issue of whether our vote will count or not. We have to join this movement and be positive that our vote will count, because when we come out in numbers select to vote, the rate at which rigging will take place will be very slim. But when everybody sits back at home and say, even if I come out to vote or not, my vote will not count, that's where they will have this chance to rig. But when everybody come out, we see youths even in Lagos State going out to this various places where they can get their PVCs made. And I would say it's a thumbs up for youths, because youths are really coming up. Youths are really going out to get their PVC. We need to come out in number and get our PVC.
Hello, Isaac from Anambra. Please, you're my last caller for today.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Hello?
We can hear you, please. Go on.
Okay. I want to talk about this policy. I want to speak about this Godfather policy. Godfather policy. All these that they are given. So I don't like the way they are doing it. They know the one. The ticket. That is the only thing. They're supposed to the something like PDP will not help. I know that after the movement, they will go and so that is the problem. Thank you.
Thank you for that contribution, Tosin.
Yes, and I just say we have to join this movement and be positive that our vote will count. If only we come out in our numbers to ensure that we go and cast our vote, and also make sure that we stay there and see that our votes are being counted. It's one thing to go cast your vote and another thing to go back and leave it to the hands of these people. But when you stay there without causing any form of disturbance or causing any havoc in that environment, just to ensure that your vote counts. And I just assure everybody that we should join this movement in seeing that getting your PVC is one, it's important, and ensuring that you go out to vote on the day of election is another thing that is important, and even ensuring that your vote count is another thing. We should join this train and see that our votes will count someday in our nation.
Definitely, Tosin. I think I have a comment on Facebook. This is coming from Jonah. He said voters should be sensitive, not to vote in somebody who is healthy and knowledgeable to tackle the numerous problems. I think we need to really be sensible to, vote people who are sensible, who are healthy, people who have the, the heart of Nigerians, not just about, going about your own personal interest or bringing in people that I think will work for you. And that's why we've always kicked against this godfatherism and all these other things. We should look for people who are truly competent. Just like you said, it's one thing to get your PVC, it's another thing to go there and be sure that your vote counts. So regardless of whether you feel that when you go there it counts, and that is why votes are being bought. We have politicians going around to buy votes. So I believe that that will be the way forward. Well, that is how far we can go on the show, and thank you so much, Tosi, for doing this alongside me. And thank you to our viewers, and also to those who called us, and also to Jonah that also dropped his comment. We look forward to other comments that will drop on our Facebook and our YouTube pages. Thank you to our supporters. Thank you to the Echo Executive. Thank you to the all crew members who make sure that this program was a success. Until we come your way, have a blessed weekend and happy Democracy Day.